governance is planned in such a way that there is this avenue for the masses to make their contribution, and of course they need to bring in feedback for government to know where and what to do in the process of giving the best to the people. It is on that note that I'm welcoming you again today to another edition of Scorecard, the program that tends to showcase the activities of the government of Ogun State, led by Prince Dapo Abiodun, powered by the Government Delivery Unit, and that is sponsorship and supervision of Mr. Lekon Onomusi, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Government Delivery Unit. Today, you know, as we do, as usual on the program, I'm not alone. Mr. Onomusi is here to tell us what the activities of the ministries, departments, and agencies have been in the past years of this administration, and how far they have gone, and what the ministries have been able to do, from the planning to implementation of projects and actions that is expected. So today, welcome together with me today on the show, Mr. Lekon Onomusi. Good day, nice having you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
If you're just joining us, this is Ogtv, it's the station of the movement. My name is Murenikeji Shobaleju. Come along with us. It is about the government of Ogun State, the government of Prince Dapo Abiodun. How far we are, where are we, and what the plans are, at least for the first leg of the administration, before we now start talking about what happens next. Let's look at the agenda of the government. It is premised on a pillar, which is share with infrastructure. You know, infrastructure to an extent is key in the mind of this government. Your units do a review from the start of work project and through the implementation. How far with infrastructure since the inception of this administration, and so far with your unit?
Thank you so very much. Thank you very much. This is a program that is powered with the intention to bring to the public who voted in this administration 3-4 years ago. We have to come back and render stewardship of what we have done and what we have been able to constitute in the last 4 years. The object of this program is, yes, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun MFR has on a number of occasions indicated the various things that has been done by this administration. The purpose of this exercise we are doing is to directly bring each and every MDA responsible for specific functions within the deliverable in contact with the public, to account to the public and render stewardship to the public, so the public can be fully aware of what they are doing. They are going to be explaining to the public what the nature of the interventions is all about, the purpose. They are going to be explaining to the public what the circumstance was before commencement of the intervention, and they are going to be taking them through all the various implementations that was involved before successful delivery. We have engaged a particular MDA yesterday, and we are engaging the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure today. That is consistent to the Ishaya, which is one of the 5 developmental pillars, infrastructure, which is road construction. It will interest you to know, before we go on also, I wish the public can also take cognizance of the fact that, yes, we have had 3 going on 4 years of work in this administration, but our work has been substantially impacted by the COVID experience that we had in the course of these 3-4 years. That took almost 12 months to 18 months, both in revenue and personnel availability. But despite that, in the course of this period, we have been able to deliver close to 500 kilometers of road. This is mind-blowing, this is impressive, and this we have to commend the ministry, and we also have to commend His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun and his team for making this possible. Like I said earlier, the work of GDU, we don't have ownership of any project. The ministries the projects and interventions are domiciled in the various ministries. Our work is to come and work in partnership with these ministries to be able to ensure the delivery cycle and experiences are seamless and they achieve the intended purpose. That's all what we do. What we do is about efficiency driven, to make sure there's transparency, to make sure the right level of people are engaged, you know, in delivering the overall projects. Now, as far as this particular agency, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, is concerned, our main focus is centered around two major areas. Number one is the monitoring and evaluation of these constructions while they are going on, and key importantly, what are we doing? What we are doing on that is to ensure quality assurance, because His Excellency President Abeokuta insists and wants quality delivery of all this infrastructural development. So our work is to come in, seek subject matter expert inputs to be able to give us and make comments on the quality of work that is being done, so that we can make technical recommendations to His Excellency. Also, in the process, we get involved with certain construction issues that may crystallize before, during, and on completion of the project, just to make sure the totality of what they do is seamless. The reason we do all of this is because His Excellency do recognize the importance of roads construction. Number one, road construction has a lot of socio-economic impacts to the whole environment. Rate of accidents is substantially reduced and controlled when you have a good road. There's a lot of lost time and economic loss when people are in traffic. Also, when people are driving on the road and the road experience is not very good, the cars are affected, accidents can occur and things like that. So that is why there's this particular interest in road construction. And like I said, I am here as an intermediary to just make sure this is done. The project owners are going to be the one talking specifically to the specific projects and the specific roads that are undertaken. But we work with them through each and every of these projects.
You know, being part of this, you are in the saddle and you're part of the circle from the start till the finish. You monitors and you ensure that, okay, since it is delivery, all these projects must be adequately delivered as expected. But going forward, since this road A, B, and C, like you said, we have 500 kilometers of road, which is also overwhelming to say that, okay, despite the COVID-19 hindrance, the government is still able to do 500 kilometers of road at that short period that the government is able to, you know, execute projects. And looking at 500 kilometers, some people would say, 500 kilometers, is it in 2 kilometers? To some people, to the layman, this is to enlighten the public. Many of them will not adequately be able to say that, oh, the 2 kilometers is to say from Idiaba to probably Shakmo. They don't know the number of this kilometer. People don't, because there are no engineers. You want to tell us, you want to tell the general public, what are the roads that the way you want enlighten that more, that okay, 500 kilometers of road, fine, it's awesome, it's massive. So far, how do you see all these roads from where to where? Can you give us names and so far that since you monitor and evaluate, what do you have to say?
Thank you very much, very good question. But this is what I speak to that. This is about division of labor. I speak to it that our function is mainly monitoring and to oversee efficiency. I can tell you that the roads, we have roads, you know, from a Pemojo that direction, Ijebode, Ijebugbo, or Ruagowe, we've done things around there. We've done things around interchange, Abeokuta Expressway, Adigbe, Adoudota, Imekwafo. We have done, but I'm not to speak to the specific length of areas and what is done. All I can speak to is that these roads, some of them completed, some of them ongoing. The quality and standard expected, we are making sure that is complied with. And also the Honorable Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure is somebody who is naturally committed to excellence. So that controls the work we do. But the special advisor is here today, is going to be speaking to the specific roads and all those presentations. He will cover that in the course of his presentation.
Okay, then how satisfied are you in terms of compliance on the part you are in charge? You would like a break between the government, like the chief executive, to these ministries who are in charge. So how fulfilled and satisfied are you so far from the implementation, from the action all through the implementation cycle? How satisfied are you with what has been done so far by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure?
Yeah, because predominantly the work is made easier because right from the planning stage, our office kind of gets involved to know exactly what is to be done, how it's going to be done, who are those who are going to be engaged in doing these things. So we have the opportunity of engaging with these people. Also, in the course of monitoring and evaluation, when the work is being done, we also have the opportunity of inputs at these various times. Of course, when we have raised issues or we have raised concern, they have been very quick to deal with those concerns, and that is why we're able to work together as a team. So the answer to your question is that yes, we have a good relationship. It's a relationship that is based on mutual trust, and yes, we are quite impressed, with the outcome that we are getting from these exercises. Okay,
quickly before we just conclude this segment, the feedback, your units, you also deal with feedback from the people. How satisfied are the people that are the direct beneficiary of these road projects? Do you get feedback on that basis?
Yeah. One of our terms of reference of the office is, we call it stakeholders management. By stakeholders, we need to actually understand to every project or initiative, there are bound to be stakeholders that are connected to those projects. Number one, our responsibility is to identify these stakeholders, and our responsibility also is to manage and inform the stakeholders. So we are quite aware of issues that are raised during the times of construction. Such issues like traffic management, I know it's an issue that comes up when construction is going on. We make the first responsibility, or we take the first responsibility to contact the trades, work with in partnership with trades to make sure that they are much more forthcoming with the management of traffic around these construction areas. Also, I know that there are issues around compensation in case certain people are affected. So we work with the Bureau of Lands to make sure we quickly and as expediently as possible try and manage that aspect of compensation. And I think we've done a good job in that respect so far.
Thank you for being part of the show, and nice having you on board today. In case you're just joining us, it's still Scorecard on Ogtv. Join us again after this timeout. Welcome back from that short break, and the program is still Scorecard on Ogtv. With me, Moraini KJ Shobaloju. This program is powered by government delivery units under the supervision of Mr. Lekon Onomusi, the special advisor to the governor on government delivery units. He was here earlier on the first segment of the show, and he has been able to identify, the working relationship, as it is the duty of this unit to do a review of the ministries, department, and agencies of government from the action through the implementation of project, as to say the delivery of what is expected of all the MDAs. Now joining me in the studio is the special advisor to the governor on works and infrastructure, Engineer Abdulhakeem Babatunde Adeshina. As an engineer, has been in the saddle of assisting and doing what is necessary and expected of him when the commissioner is side by side, they synergize and ensure that the ministry is able to deliver. I have with me in the studio, Engineer Adeshina. You're welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Good day, viewers.
It is about the works and infrastructure. Infrastructure takes the larger percentage of the budget of this administration year in, year out. And this is to ensure that, road network is important to economic development. Absolutely. So far since this administration commences in the state, government made it clear that we are leaving the state better than we met it. give us the breakdown of the roads. We are aware that over 500 kilometers of roads have been constructed, ongoing, or probably completed on the state. Can you take us through this and then let us have, an idea of where these roads are and the length?
Once again, I thank you and I thank our viewers at home. You have already said it. President Abeokuta promised to change the narratives in Ogun State in terms of development. I all know that roads generally are catalyst of developments. So the administration of Prince Abeokuta MFR has taken construction, rehabilitation, reconstruction to all the nooks and crannies of Ogun State. So today, Prince Abeokuta administration is working in all the 20 local government of Ogun State. And what is more interesting, unlike in the past, the administration of Prince Abeokuta has not abandoned all meaningful projects of the last administration. So I will take you up from there. There are some projects inherited from the last administration and which Prince Abeokuta administration have completed now. Let us start from Kuto. If you remember the Kuto bridge, it was not completed. It was initiated by the last administration, but not completed. And today, Kuto bridge has been completed by this administration, and the link roads around Kuto bridge, this also has been done and completed by this administration. Another example of a project initiated by the last administration is the Pancheke Adigbe Road. It was initiated by the last administration. It has been completed and commissioned by the administration of Prince Abeokuta. Other projects initiated and this administration are working on Lafenwaranda. In fact, Lafenwaranda was initiated by the last administration and not much was done then. For less than 10% of the project. But today I'm happy to tell you that the project is about 75% completed. If you go to Lafenwa, you will see all that has been done. And after Lafenwa, going on to Randa, and eventually the Prince Abeokuta will taking this project to Ayetoro Imeko by the grace of God. Another example is look at Ilishon, Agowoye Road. This was abandoned by past administration. If you are not driving and you are just a passenger, if you close your eyes at Ilishon before you open it, you will be at Agowoye. About 24-kilometer length of road, I was in twinkle of an eye, you will be at Agowoye. This is the beauty of good administration of Prince Abeokuta. Look at Elega Mokola now. It was started by the last one, but if you get here right now, this administration is working on Elega Mokola Road. These are part of all some of the projects initiated by the last administration. And recently, look at Mowe Ofada. Mowe Ofada Road was initiated by the administration of the last government. It was abandoned. Prince Abeokuta MFR back on the road. As I'm talking to you, contractors are on the road and they are working day and night to get the people good drive between Mowe and Ofada. This is what I would call a phase one project initiated by the last administration and now being completed by this new administration. There are also some projects initiated by this administration itself and is ongoing, and some have been completed also. Example of those initiated and completed by this administration is the Idiaba Airlight Okelantoro. The administration started from the scratch, starting from drain construction on to substructures, we call it in engineering, and then for our eyes, a few months ago, the governor has commissioned this road. And come next year, the governor will be taking this road also from Okelantoro to Isalaki by the grace of God. Another example of that, look at Olomori. Olomori's Sunny Road was initiated by this government. Similarly, the road at Itori Township. Itori is in the wake of the local government. They have done unnecessary things, the substructure, the drainage construction, the culvert construction. We are ready, it's completed fully. Other roads that are nearly completion, which are initiated by this government, I would like to mention a few. Elisha Market Road in Elisha. Shagamu Ikene Road is under construction. It will soon be completed. Out. Our Shiun Owode Road. Shiun Owode Road is initiated by this government. It's moving at very rapid stage of construction. It will soon join Mowe Fada Road. And we have a smooth ride from Shiun on to Mowe joining Lagos Ibadan Express Road. We are working on Akute, the road chassis, even for local government. It will soon be completed. Because I'm talking about Ifo, we have completed Oritameje, Adenrele, Fespa in Ifo. We are also working on Olusegun Oshoba, Towing Street in Agbado. I'm mentioning these roads so that we know that nearly 500 kilometers of road. Now, look at Imashai, Abeokuta, Ayeto Road. We started from Imashai. We are close to Abeokuta now. So for the good people of our people, of the people of around the area. Olupa Expressway in Ijebu-Ode is under construction, nearly completed. All these are what we call ongoing projects. Right now, we have started Hospital Road at Ogijo. Ogijo is in Shagamu local government. The government is working on that. The government is working on Shagamu Iperu Road. And also from Iperu, we are going to Ode. This is done by this administration. And let me put it to you. When this administration came to power in 2019, Oberiwole Road is the first road where you see when you enter Shagamu, when you are coming through the Lagos Ibadan Express, was impassable. But today, I'm happy the road has been commissioned by His Excellency Prince Dapo Abeokuta. These are
of what you can talk about.
I'm not finished.
You know, if I should allow you to go on and on, you just say it like that and won't. But let me just come in a bit there. You know, this administration seems to have done more like 80% of link roads.
Yes.
Was this influenced based on the people's demand? You know, the governor himself thought of, you know, connecting roads because, you know, sometimes when the link roads are done, I'm aware that this will reduce the gridlock that is supposed to be on our major highways on the expressways. This demand as expected from people. With examples, have they been met? Do we still have where people are complaining? Are there feedbacks from the people?
Thank you very much. I will first of all take you through the process we use in determining road to be constructed. President Abeokuta administration believes in the community. At the inception, he has the community leaders, the KBACs, the grassroots people to nominate the roads they want to be constructed or reconstructed or rehabilitated in their domain. And it was the submission from the grassroots that the minister was used in finally recommending roads to be done to His Excellency. And Excellency has been following this at the demand of the people. And the beauty of this thing is that it's generated from the people and it's coming to the government. What I'm happy about and discovered is that the people, our people do not believe in urban regeneration or whatever you call it. They don't believe in the flyover. They didn't ask for flyovers. They didn't ask for bridges. Rather, they asked, like we mentioned, the link roads, the network of roads. But apart from that, the administration look at what are the economic roads, the roads that will lead us to other states. Lagos is the commercial center of this country. Which roads quickly link us to this place to enhance the development of Ogun State? Example is Ijebu-Ode Epe Road. We are linking Lagos. We want economic development. Example, this Chagamu interchange, it links Lagos Ibadan expressway. That is because the state wants to develop at a faster rate. And when you go to Sango Axis, at the inception of this government constructed Osiota Rail Power Road. That is linking Lagos State. Osiota Navy School, Navy Road. This is linking Lagos State. For economic reasons, also the government tried to construct the roads that will take us to the other states. But I should not forget to mention, there are some mega roads. We are talking of over 400, close to 500 kilometers
of road.
Definitely.
Of course, is expected.
Example, one of them is this Abeokuta Shagamu interchange. It's 41 kilometers on its own. Similar thing happens Ijebu-Ode Epe Road. It's a mega road. Aton Lusada is here today. Aton Lusada Agbara, that is linking Lagos State. It's a mega road.
That's even a very long stretch of road.
Long stretch of road. Similar thing happens to Ilaro Iwoye-Owode. Ilaro Iwoye is a road that abandoned by past administration for it. But if you go there today, 70% of the job have been done.
Honestly, one would not say that you can't begin to say, this is our scorecard, this is what we have done. But with all this you have said, it leaves the general public with the mindset of, okay, this government has been able to an extent done 80% of what is expected in terms of infrastructure development. Can you take us through the challenging period, or the ministry will just come and walk through without? What are the challenges during this construction, and how do you manage them? Because there are some roads that would have some demolition will be done to actually pave way, for these roads to be done. How do you, when you encounter this, how do you solve them? What are the things you want to react to that?
Thank you very much. The major challenge is fund. The available money is so small. In fact, despite the fact that I am aware of this, I at times wonder where His Excellency get the money to fund all these roads. Roads is very expensive. In the township, by the time you construct a kilometer of road, you'll be spending ₦1 billion. In rural area, by the time you construct a kilometer of road, you can't spend less than 400 to 500 million naira. So road is very expensive. So the major challenge of the administration on road construction and infrastructure is fund. These resources are just not there. But maybe because His Excellency is a businessman, he brings in the managerial experience to manage that. That is one. Two, this government is an humane government. The government does not believe in demolishing houses of poor people and let them be running around asking for compensation. Or even some of them do not have alternatives. So as a major policy, we don't want to demolish unless it's very weight for the construction and passage of vehicles. So we have the ground here. It is the superb, the theoretical issue.